Often we are concerned about our freedom of expression. We do not want any foundations on our freedom to express ourselves. Even the idea of someone curtailing our speech, our expression appears like a violation of ourself. It feels as if someone has inhibited our being, and so it is safe to say that we take our freedom of expression, our freedom of speech seriously, that we are rightfully concerned about our outward expression, about how we choose to express ourselves. But does this concern, does this seriousness also travel inwardly within? Are we free in ourselves to completely explore, to search, to go and walk into the corners of our own mind? Are we free enough to think about anything? Do we not bind ourselves from thinking about certain things? Do we not refrain ourselves to explore, to freely look into our own minds? Are we often, or at least sometimes, not scared to think about things? So it appears that we are concerned, too concerned about our outward expression, but inwardly to freely explore, to look, to observe without any inhibitions, restraints, or self-imposed foundations into our own minds. How can we freely express outwardly when inwardly we ourselves keep foundations on our own thought? We refrain, we fear ourselves and resist to not think about certain things, to not think about our own past, our own mistakes, our own past sorrows, experiences, and memories that haunt us. Are we free to explore that? Are we free to explore what we detest, what annoys us? Are we free to explore our own fears? Are we free to explore our own insecurity? We would find that we ourselves have kept a lot of conditions, restraints, to not freely think of what, to not freely think about the content of our own mind. there are some safely logged areas where we consciously do not step into. There are some locked chests that we dare not open, otherwise they would overwhelm us, they would paralyze us inwardly. We would not be able to function completely if we let ourselves in those past memories and experiences that gave us pain, that reminds us of our own incapacity, inability to do anything about our own lives. Are we inwardly really free to completely look at our own selves, however tormented, however depressed, however pitiful it may be? We conceal or try to hide our own true nature, our own memories from ourselves, and then assert upon this outward freedom of expression, freedom of speech. Does that freedom has any value if inwardly we are not willing to look and explore our own past, our own experiences? The insecurities that we have, the weakness that we harbor within, the fear that lives in our heart, do we freely look at it, watch it, observe it? Do we even allow ourselves to think about the inhibited areas of our own mind, the places in our mind where we have put a self restriction, where we consciously do not go or try to think about? This restraint, this resistance that we offer to ourselves to not completely and freely think about our own mind, to not freely go into and explore our every insecurity, fear, sorrow or memory, stops us in our own tracks. It paralyzes us inwardly within. We may have these locked up no trespassing areas within our own minds, and then assert on outward expression, outward exploration of thought. Does that outward exploration of thought has any value if inwardly we haven't completely explored our own self? Because true freedom is this freedom to explore our own minds, and if within ourselves we put so many foundations, we keep all of these limits where we would never go, where we would never walk or step into, how can we claim any outward freedom is not that an hypocrisy that we live with? Being inwardly in foundations, being inwardly suppressed and not allowing our own thought, our own mind to look into the darker areas of itself, and outwardly it is too ready and active to explore the freedom of thought and the freedom of speech. Are we free to look at our own hypocrisy, to look at our own double standards when it comes to freedom? One should have outward freedom without any doubt, but one cannot have outward freedom unless there is this freedom within, which is ready to dispassionately look at its own self, to look without any worries or fears at its own insecurities, its own fallibilities, its own dark past, which it thinks to be dark. The past will remain dark if we do not put any light on it through our present. This freedom to look, to explore, is itself the light that we will put on our dark past, so that they won't remain in the dark forever. By resisting to not look at our own self, we make sure that this darkness within lives on, that it is safe and secure within its established boundary. We have to invade this boundary. We have to release ourselves from the potency of this darkness, which spreads or threatens to spread on our own life. Unless we are free to look inwardly, unless we are free to explore every possibility that the mind has, every nook, alley, corner that our mind possesses, we have to throw light on it. We have to explore it completely, fully. Having these dark corners within our minds, we restrain, we inhibit, we put conditions on our own freedom. Carrying all these foundations within, we cannot be truly free. To follow along a certain ideology, a certain frame of thought, again is denying our own freedom. We have to ourselves look at our insecurity, at the fears that rule over us, at our own unwillingness, indolence that lies within which stops us from exploring ourselves completely. When we rely on the other, when we follow the other to a path for freedom, when we ask the other for complete freedom, in this ask alone lies a slavery. We become slave to our own fallibilities. When we are not willing to look, when we are not ready to observe our own fear, we are empowering our fear, our insecurity to rule over us. Our past haunts us because we are not willing to look at it, to face it, and turn our head and throw light on it. This willingness alone dissolves the darkness. We become slave to our own distorted thinking, our own corrupt ideas and imaginations. This assertion to freedom of expression, to freedom of speech has no value. We are a slave to this assertion also. If inwardly there is all these foundations that we have put on ourselves to completely explore every dark alley and corner of our own mind. There is no freedom in ignorance. There is no freedom in assertion or being safe in one's own illusion. Illusions are not free. They may provide comfort, and even that comfort is not real. They may provide it, but in themselves, in keeping illusions, in restricting ourselves from facing who we are, in the unwillingness to not look at our own fallibilities and our own distorted thinking, is the slavery that is self-imposed. The other one would make us their slave later. First, we are the slave of our own distorted reality that we have actively perpetuated within us. The fears, the mistakes of the past, our insecurities, our loneliness, our anxiety, validating all of these things make us their slave. The unwillingness to look, to face it, to observe our fear, to understand our loneliness, our insecurity, alone dissipates, takes the power, loosens the grip that they have on us. we have to ask ourselves, are we really free to look and free completely to look at the things outside and to look at the things within, however pitiful, however disgusting, however unpleasing the environment within may be, we have to be totally free of the fear and the prejudice that we carry, and look whatever is going on within with a naked eye, without the spectacles of belief, of images, of a projection of fear. A clear eye that has no predetermined image of what it will find when it looks within can only truly, really look. All our observation is tainted by the observer. If we observe from a center, if we observe as someone who wants to rid themselves of their fears, as someone who desires freedom, this looking with an expectation distorts the one that is looked, that is observed. It distorts the object of observation, and so there is no change. When there is this pure observation, the object that is observed changes. And so when we will look at our own distorted thinking, at our own insecurities, at our own fallibilities, at our own dark past that we so resist to go into, when we innocently with a naked eye look at these, that very looking changes what is being observed. It reforms it, rather transforms it. The past will not be the past that we thought it to be. The fear that we thought exists within would no longer be the fear that would grip us. The insecurity, the pitiful state of oneself would not be the same. It would transform our relationship with our past, with the insecurities that we hold about ourselves, with our own way of thinking would completely change. This observation alone transforms the center that holds its fears, its insecurities. And when that center is dissolved, is no more, then we will find what true freedom actually is. Only then we can have freedom in its real sense. The inward freedom would become our outward expression. And then there is no curtailing or suppressing that expression of freedom that comes from within, that is an expression of our own understanding of our mind, of ourself. Unless we are free to look within, we are completely, unless we are free to look within, we are not free to look what is without, with all sorts of foundations, restrictions that we carry within. All we look through is a tunnel vision. Our outside perception is dictated by our inward foundations in the ways that we would not be even aware of. The outside reality perception completely changes when there is inward freedom to look and explore our own selves. The way our pasts grip us, the way our fears hold us, the way our distorted thinking completely alters our idea of reality. Any outside perception that we have is limited, is not complete, it is restricted. Or rather is a self-perpetuated series of images that we exist in. When there is no freedom within, all we have outside are illusions and images that we come to call our life. That is not life. That is some self-constructed belief about life that we have begun to live in. To freely express ourselves outwardly, there must be freedom within to look at our own self. Without that freedom, all our wishes or demand for outward freedom of expression or speech is futile, is rather irrational. That demand doesn't hold any meaning.